Hi guys, welcome back to Sunday League to Champions League. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have a second leg quarter-final tie against FC Porto, and we follow it up with an FA Cup semi-final against Newcastle. Our form currently is pretty good in all honesty. Since you were last with us, we have continued our unbeaten run that we're on. It's been a really good run, and we're starting to find our rhythm. Players are starting to get a little bit happier as well, and gradually the board and the fans starting to come round slightly to the extent that we're only 6 points off a Champions League spot at the moment. So obviously, if we win the Europa League, we get in the Champions League anyway. But we have really picked up in our league form, and if we can continue this for our last 6 games of the Premier League season, we've got a chance of qualifying. And yes, the likes of Manchester City, Chelsea, and Tottenham, Liverpool, all up there. It's going to be very difficult to get past any of them. Everton and Newcastle are pretty much assured of a top three place for sure now. Um, but all the teams are dropping points, and at the moment, we seem to be hitting form at the right time. In terms of our Premier League matches ahead, as I previously mentioned, Leeds and Aston Villa should be the winnable games. Newcastle currently top of the Premier League. Brentford have dropped down a little bit, so that is very winnable. Everton, of course, as I said, they're third at the moment, and Chelsea are just above us. So if we win our remaining league games, yes, it'll be a very tough ask. But looking at the form that we're in, if we can really get some good results out of them important games, we've got every chance that we could finish fourth in the Premier League this season. Um, Obviously, focusing in today, it's largely all about the game against Newcastle in the FA Cup semi-final. We have a 4-2 lead after the first leg against FC Porto in the Europa League. So hopefully we can just keep things calm and just go through the motions and get through the second leg of this cup tie. The fact that we won away against Porto in itself was a very good result. And obviously, with this upturn in our form, our home form continues to go quite well as well. So we shouldn't have too many problems, I don't think. In terms of the other games, Nijmegen absolutely battered Hellas Verona away from home, so they're looking like to be our likely opponents in the semi-final, providing we get the job done today. And in the other two semi-finals, I think it was Roma, and I can't remember the other semi-final now off the top of my head. Actually, we'll just wait for this highlight to end. Guilherme charging into the centre of the box, and it's taken a deflection, and it's actually just gone wide, and it's out for a corner. And again, we're looking pretty sharp at the moment. Cook swinging it in toward the near post. Arno manages to clear, but only as far as Guilherme. Chance to get it into the penalty area. He finds Cook. He's been brought down by Arno. No foul. Guilherme chips it in, and Almada with the header, but Luis Junior with a comfortable catch. And oh yeah, Celtic Wolfsburg. That's reasonably balanced as well at the moment. So you'd fancy AS Roma to get through there at home in their second leg, and Celtic Wolfsburg. I'm not too sure what the score is overall in that one, but providing we get through this today, like I say, we will definitely be playing Nijmegen. They won the first leg 4-0 or 4-1, I think, and they're winning already in their second leg. Cook here with a corner swung in, and Correa was there. It's just over the bar. He's been so good from these set pieces recently, Correa. He really has settled into a rhythm with them. Celtic 2-0 up now against Wolfsburg, and Roma 2-0 up against Genk. So Celtic, Roma in the other semi-final looks quite likely at the moment. Luis Junior trying to knock it forward. Disasi couldn't get there. And a nice header from Almada to Guilherme, and Morrow couldn't quite find the pass through. But it's fallen nicely for Guilherme, and that's the second time we've hit the woodwork in this first half. Half an hour gone. It remains 0-0, but we're certainly putting the pressure on. And we've been by far the better side, 74% possession so far. But Machi coming into the penalty area for Porto, it was a decent ball across, but there was no one there to convert. And Hajo into Youngblood, charging forward through the centre, plays it to Morrell. Now Cook into Hajo again. That's a lovely pass, and Guilherme finishes it well. It's 5-2, and that gives us the breathing space that we need. And because of our unbeaten run, I now have every confidence that we'll definitely be going into that semi-final against Nijmegen. It was a very well worked move. Hajo with a lovely pass, and Guilherme just putting his foot through it basically into the back of the net. And we have a 5-2 aggregate lead now. Incidentally, I've just noticed all the home teams are currently winning, so that is a big comfort for all of the sides involved. Cook trying to get the ball through, Boyomo intercepting and finding Henriquez. Plays it down the line to Fernandez, just holds on to it down the left-hand side and gets the ball in, and Henriquez with the shot that's blocked. It's come for Fernandez, a different Fernandez, and his shot goes over. Certainly one of the better chances Porto have had, but we are looking extremely comfortable here at half-time at 5-2. And hopefully we can continue it into the second half. There's a little bit of complacency in the side. Obviously, with the 3-goal advantage, we're pretty much assured of victory now. But we need to keep our form going. We need to maintain our focus. We've got a lot of big games to come, especially in the Premier League. So, we've really got to be mindful of how things are going to go. Bina here into Correa. Yerishami. Just noticed he's on a yellow card. It might be something that we sort out rather quickly, actually, that one. Last thing we need is any disciplinary issues. Usman into Maki. Good tackle by Morrell, who picks it up and tries to make the run forward. He finds Almada, just holds up the play and lays it back to Cook. And now Yerashami again. Into Cook. That's a nice pass, and Morrell picks it up, tries to cut into the penalty area. It's a superb run, and that is a superb goal from Juan Cruz Morrell. It's his 12th of the season. He's had a very good debut season, to be fair. And at 6-2, it's job done, and we will make those changes momentarily after the highlight of the goal comes through. Morrell, really good run. He kept control superbly, and he managed to flick it past the keeper, who did get a slight touch onto it, but it went straight into the top corner, and job done. There is a corner here for Porto. We will just make some of those changes now, though. Humphreys can come on. He's actually just made his England debut, Humphreys, as well, so that is a big moment for him. We'll get Hayes and Siles into the midfield, and we'll probably rest one or two others as well if we can. Rob Dow can come on for Youngblood, and we'll probably get Separach on for Guilherme as well. And just give the youngsters a bit of a run out. I'm hoping that we should be relatively comfortable from here on out anyway, especially at 6-2, but hopefully in the match itself as well, because we don't want to, like I say, we don't want to falter any of our form at the moment. Machi swinging it in toward Fernandez. It's a good clearance, to be fair, and Guilherme picks it up and just lays it back into Correa. And now Cook into Youngblood. Big opportunity maybe here to really rubber stamp the match. And Youngblood straight into the penalty area, and Lewis Jr. with a very good save, really. Should have been a goal, in all honesty. The way he hit it was very assertive, but we couldn't convert the chance. Swung in, it's managed to clear. Separach picks up into Romano, can't get the ball in again by Omo blocking, but it's fallen for Morrell again, and it's only just blocked by Arnau Martinez. And there was every opportunity there for us to go 3-0 up as Separach tries to get hold of possession, but nets clears. Boyomo into Tavares. Now Disasi knocks it forward looking for Machu, wins the header, and there's Usman, and the strike is poor, fortunately, from our point of view. And as we go into the last 20 minutes or so, we have an opportunity again. Beinert into Separach. Lays it back to Hayes. Now Beinert again. Into Hayes. Siles, that's a lovely pass, and Juan Cruz Morrell with the finish. I don't think he was offside. There's not even a check on it. In fact, it bobbled in front of him. He took the goal extremely well, and we are now 7-2 up here on aggregate. Siles with the lovely ball, and it didn't bounce before him. It bounced after he hit it, so he hit it into the ground. It was a nice finish. Keeper didn't really have much of a chance. And Romano, unfortunately, has taken a knock here. We may have to just take him off and finish the match with 10 men. But Morrell into Rob Dow. And now Biner plays it across. And it's a good palm away from the goalkeeper. But we're really starting to turn the screw here and put Porto under a lot more pressure as Usman picks it up and lays it back to Arnau Martinez. Over the top, and Usman comes down this right-hand side, going into the penalty area. Big chance maybe here for Porto. Hayes manages to clear. Morrell into Rob Dahl, and now we're on the counter-attack. The move continues. Almada is ahead of him, but he finds Separach, And Separac goes into the penalty area and gets the strike away. And again, it's an emphatic finish. And we have torn FC Porto apart here. This really good run of form we're on is clearly becoming a catalyst for us going ahead. And I genuinely think if we can keep this up, there's every chance we will finish in the top four of the Premier League. We're not that far behind. And we're certainly hitting form at the right time, but we need to get the results against those bigger clubs going forward. Big semi-final, obviously, in the next game against Newcastle. And that is something that we will have to certainly be mindful of. Siles with the delivery, Almada with the header off the post. That's another thing. We've hit the woodwork 3 times today as well. It could end up, well, I mean, it's already quite an embarrassing defeat this for FC Porto at 8-2, but it could have been a lot worse, to be fair, given the nature of the match. But looking at the other fixtures, I think Celtic and Roma are going to be the other semi-final. Either way, we could be in for a tough final, providing we get past Nijmegen. Here is Biner into Almada. And now Juan Cruz Morro has converted his hat-trick today. 5-0 on the night, 9-2 on aggregate. I mean, we made the changes, of course, and rested some of the key players. But my word, have the boys really delivered a performance today. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And given how the first half of the season went and how things are now, it's amazing to think just how much we struggled at the start of the season. But it's also interesting to think what could have been this season. If we'd have played the way we are now throughout the whole campaign, we could have certainly been a force to be reckoned with, including in the Premier League. But that is a phenomenal result for us. 9-2 in the end on aggregate. Nijmegen won 5-0 against Hellas Verona. Celtic won 5-2 against Wolfsburg, and Roma won 5-2 against Genk. Oh, I didn't realise Genk actually won the first leg against Roma, so it's going to be an interesting run-in, that is for sure. And we go into a game at Wembley for the game against Newcastle. It's only in a few days' time, so bear with me, and we'll come back for a very important FA Cup semi-final. Okay, guys, here we go for the FA Cup semi-final against Premier League leaders Newcastle. It's going to be an extremely tough game, this one today. We already know that, but hopefully we can find a way to get past them. Oh, they're actually not the Premier League leaders anymore. I've just noticed Arsenal have gone above them. They're 2 points clear. Everton are right in the mix as well, I might add. As you can see, where the Premier League is concerned, Tottenham have played an extra game. We're 5 points behind them. So obviously, depending on results around these teams, could determine whether we qualify for Europe or not. In terms of the actual coefficient, England are top of the tree. So there is every chance that there will be another Champions League place opening up in the league. So we'll have to play it by ear and see how we get on. But everything's still in our hands. Obviously, with the Europa League and the FA Cup, we can guarantee a qualification spot for Europe if we win one or both of these competitions. So we've got a pretty much full strength side for this game today. We go into the Newcastle match. We want to make the FA Cup final. We want to win it. Let's be honest, we've come this far. We want to win it. But this is going to be an extremely tough test against a Newcastle side managed by Jurgen Klopp as well. So he's no stranger to winning trophies. Let's see if we can get out there and do what we need to do. We've been in great form. Let's see if we can get the job done. Be an extremely big ask, I think, today. But to be honest, I think we deserve it. The way we've managed to come through the hardship this season, and we're in a really good run of form, I think we deserve to at least bring home one trophy this season. Yes, we won the Community Shield at the start of the campaign. And yes, it's a big change of tune from earlier in the season, of course, from my point of view. But we seem to have found our rhythm, and I'm just hoping it can continue to the end of the season. Sonogo charging into the penalty area, and that is an unbelievable chance. It's a brilliant save from the keeper, in all honesty. And Rippis here with the resulting corner. Swings it into the near post. Saric, who we know from our time at Karlsruhe of course. Senad Saric, a first-team regular now at Newcastle, and he managed to get the clearance. Hadjo has picked up a yellow card, which isn't ideal in the role that he tends to play in that midfield, so something that we'll have to manage carefully again. But Newcastle haven't had an attempt at goal in that first half. We're obviously dominating the game at the moment. Possession's relatively even, but we've just not quite found that finishing touch so far. Hopefully we can find a way to get that goal. And if we can, I reckon we'll go on and win this. Rippis not having the best of games at left back, but like I say, can't be too bad. I think it's based on his creativity. But Sonoga with a great pass into Medina, into the penalty area. And again, he should have laid it across. We had Almada and Gluck waiting in the centre of the box, but he went for glory. And the keeper made a comfortable save. But I would say I'd demand more, but we've certainly been very, very good today. And we've kept Newcastle extremely quiet. They've just had their first shot at goal. We're going to have to make changes, and it's unfortunate, really, because obviously these players are very key players for us. We'll get Youngblood on in that attacking midfield role, and we're going to have to change both central midfielders if we can. I think we'll get Salz on as the playmaker. Capelli can go in as that ball-winning midfielder, and Correa can come on at centre-back for the time being, at least. We'll just make the three changes. Rippis here with a corner, swung into the near post. Thuram just clears. It's fallen for Medina. And now Oscar Gluck, and it's off target. That's a big opportunity again. We've done really well in front of goal recently, but we're just struggling to find a way through. And Newcastle are yet to have a shot on target, but that could change here as Shearer comes down the left-hand side. Good tackle by Lucas Correa, who finds Medina. And now Salz plays it into the centre, and Musa intercepts comfortably. And now Arda Güler has scored. Is Newcastle's first shot on target. I don't think he was offside either. It's been checked for offside, but I'm pretty sure that goal's going to stand. And if it does, and it has, we're incredibly unfortunate. That's the first shot on target. We're going to demand more. And we're going to go very attacking. And it's incredibly unfortunate. We're going to get Morel and Guillermo on. Just switch Medina to that left-hand side. The fact that we've lost this game after they've had one shot on target is extremely harsh. It's an FA Cup semi-final defeat in a game that we've dominated, but we just couldn't find a finish. And I'm more disappointed because we deserve to win the game. But unfortunately, we have missed out today. And I'm pleased with the performance despite the result. We played extremely well, but they had one shot on target and scored it, and we failed to get the ball in the back of the net. And yeah, that's a tough one to take, but it does give us one less thing to focus on, I suppose. As horrible as it is, we've still got a Europa League campaign, which is certainly going in our favour, and we've got a very important run in the Premier League to come as well. We'll probably come back for the second leg against Nijmegen again. I'm not too sure which Premier League game will show, potentially Brentford. And then obviously at the end of the season, will be Chelsea away in the Premier League and hopefully a Europa League final. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.